next possession, hit the 55-yarder. Callaway makes it a 10-point game. And then we give up 14 points on special teams. The punt return was a flat punt. We didn't have great coverage. And we get a punt blocked and safe. The guy runs right through our shield and our guard. So, again, disappointed for our guys. We'll rally. We'll get ready for Vanderbilt. Home game at Williams-Brice at 7:30. And our guys will get ready to go. So I'll open up for any questions.
What did you see with your secondary tonight?
Just we didn't cover 15-1. We really had a hard time matching up on those guys. We knew that going in the game. I mean, those guys, we've had a hard time matching up with those guys since they've been here. We've been able to fortunate to come out the three previous years and get the win. We just didn't today. But we had a hard time covering, tackling 15 in space. He's a competitive guy. Got to give those guys credit, but we didn't cover very well on those guys.
Well, what's the injury report? Is Ernest okay?
Yeah, Ernest has got an elbow. I think he's going to be fine. It just kind of hit him on his funny bone a little bit there, and he had a hard time. He had some tingling, and Hutch has an ankle, and that's it. But we do not think it's serious.
Well, when Marquez and Juwan are doing what they're doing, is there anything schematically you can do to defend that?
Well, we played zone, and they hit us in zone. We played man, they hit us in man. We had a hard time getting pressure. Now, they did max the protection. They went 6 and 7 man protection a good bit to try and slide protect. They weren't doing a lot of man protection, which was obvious, but we just got to be able to cover better down the field. At the end of the day, we had some 50-50 balls. We're in position to make a play on the ball. We got to make a play on the ball.
In terms of their punt, In terms of their punt return, what did you see kind of
We had
going
a flat kick, and we had one gunner got wired on the line of scrimmage, and the other gunner got out and didn't make the play, and they split her net.
Well, on the offensive line, it looked like they got a lot of pressure on Ryan. Were they doing something different?
Well, when you get in that point where it's a 2-score game, they were cutting it back and going after it up front. So that's tough. And, you lose Hutch, and so, but I think a lot of it was situationally in the game. We got to stay on the field on third down. The field position killed us a little bit in the first half and the third quarter especially. We got to be able to flip the field. We just never got anything going. We couldn't stay on the field on third down at all on offense.
You mentioned last week that you want to give Ryan something he's comfortable with. Do you think he's comfortable running that up tempo?
Yeah, but we wanted to play with a little bit more tempo today. We hit the first play for 75 yards, and we come out of the gate with something we felt good about going into. As the game rolled along, we were backed up a good bit in the first half. We had a hard time flipping the field. And then in the third quarter, it never felt like we could get anything going in the run game steadily for the entire ball game. So just disappointed. Just got to get back and be more productive offensively. But the explosive plays defensively killed us, and you give up 14 points on special teams, it's hard to win.
How do you guys address those things on special teams? I mean, do you have to regroup and do everything?
No, we haven't had those issues before. Really, if you go back and look at it, we've been really good on special teams in our 4 years. Our coverage units, our return units have not been issues, and we just need to go back and evaluate. Obviously the punt was flat, and Joe hadn't done that. Joe's hung them up there pretty good for us. Get better coverage. We got to get more, guys that are capable gunners to go cover down the field and be better in coverage.
Will, this is the second straight game you haven't finished the way you wanted to. Is there any common theme there?
I got to go back and look. Josh, to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I don't. We got the lead going in last week in the fourth quarter. You got the lead going into halftime. You feel good about where you are. We just got to do a better job as coaches to put our guys in better situations to be successful in those situations, and that's what I've got to go back and look at.
Did you feel like their secondary played particularly physically today?
I thought they were fine.
Well, defensively, did you guys, obviously I think you guys wanted to get more pressure on the quarterback. Just what kept you from doing that especially early?
They in a lot of their shot plays, they were protecting with 7. It was full slide protection. They didn't want to get one-on-ones inside, obviously, so they did a good job of protecting. They took some shots. They hit the balls, and we didn't. Call it like it is. We were in position to make some plays. We didn't make the plays. Got to put our guys in better situations to make plays.
You've mentioned the inconsistency before. It feels like every unit you've got has played well at times and not well at times. How do you address that? How frustrating is that as a coaching staff, and how do you fix it?
Well, we got to get it fixed. That's the bottom line, and we've got to go back and really just dial down on what our guys, successfully can continue to execute in game situations. Whether it's a critical third down, whether it's a critical jump ball down the field, where you're in a max pressure and you understand you got to stay on top of the receiver in those situations. Obviously, we haven't done a good enough job of explaining that to our guys. We had some situational football that we've executed much better at times, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and we didn't do that tonight.
Well, I know you've seen the guy catch a lot of balls for 4 years, but where does that Brian had, right at the end of the half, right?
This is as good a catch as I've seen. The double coverage, they had a bracket coverage. We just felt like, you know, they jammed the mic on the draw, so we didn't have the draw, so Brian went outside to give Brian a chance and put the ball in a good spot, and Brian made a great play.
How do you feel like Brian called the game today? What were conversations like as the second half kind of went on?
Well, again, we need to get some first downs when we're coming off the goal line. We didn't never get anything going coming off the goal line. You're sitting at 21, and you know they hit 2 shots down the field. We didn't hit the shots, and you know, give them credit. We're gonna go back and look at it and see what's best we need to do moving forward.
Did you feel like they did anything particular to kind of cap your run game? It seemed big plays run.
No,
like
I think that, you know, we just never got anything going on traction. You know, we never got on track in anything we were doing. We ran a couple more RPOs. We had a couple more tempo plays that we wanted to call, and just wasn't as effective as we need to be. That's the bottom line.
Did you consider a change at quarterback today?
No.
Do you feel like Ryan's accuracy was, how do you feel about Ryan's accuracy today?
Well, again, you
Was there a
know,
lot of pressure?
the game changes a lot when you get into a 2-score, you're down 2 scores, and they get a lot of guys rushing the passer, and those guys are getting wider and wider and wider in their techniques and running up the field, and you know, that makes it very difficult on an offensive line. We're trying to chip and give some help on those guys. So we'll continue to go back and look at it. DeCaron's still got a hamstring we're still dealing with a little bit. He's healthy enough to play, but we need to get him healthy. He's not totally that point where we feel like that, you know, he's a guy that, you know, needs to be able to protect himself when he goes on the field.
Did Ryan take a shot late? It seemed like he had a towel in his mouth as he was coming off.
I think he's fine.
Because on the 4th down at the end of the 3rd quarter, the game's kind of still in the balance. It looked like Ryan checked out of something there. Was that an audible he made, or was that just a?
No, well, yeah, but they were giving double-edge pressure. We had the flat route wide open, and it was a well-thrown ball. They tipped it at the line of scrimmage. We catch it, it's gonna be a first down.
Did their quarterback rotation, anything with your defense, it impacted it all the way they were cycling
No,
the quarterback?
they do the same things.
With you and T-Rob both being defensive back guys, but sure does the struggles in the secondary make it more frustrating for you guys?
I just struggle overall. I mean, to give up explosive plays, John, it's killer. It's momentum changes, it's field position changes, it's you know, changes the scoreboard. You can't allow it to happen, and that's something we really, the last, you know, 3 or 4 games, we've done a much better job of the explosive plays in those things, and it reared its head tonight. I was worried about our matchups on 15-1 going into the game. But I've been worried for the last 4 years, and we've been able to make the plays when we needed to on those guys, and we didn't tonight.
It seemed like they were picking on Israel a little bit. Did you get that same sense?
No, I think that they had a couple things designed. They had 2 over routes where they really wanted to hit the over route, and they ended up hitting one on the deep post. I believe both of those routes, knowing Jim for a long time, were designed for the over route. We covered the over route, and they took the shot down the field.
Anything else for Coach?
All right.
Thank you much, Will.